Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to delve right into putting together the bodice pieces for my 1950s summer dresses, so let's get into it. If you watched my previous video, then you saw me making the skirt portions of the dresses, and you might have noticed that I was wearing the same outfit at the end of that video because I'm filming it on the same day. Now, it may not be a surprise to you, but I have changed my mind on the designs for my bodice pieces. Now, originally I had this idea to do a V-neck sleeve style for the blue linen, kind of a tank top style for the green leaf dress, and then the strapless for the lace. But while I was at my sister's cutting the blue linen, I accidentally spilled some water on the fabric and noticed that the blue linen basically turns deep navy when it's wet. And this might be TMI, but I tend to sweat a lot. And the last thing that I want is to have horrible armpit marks on that blue dress. So originally I was wanting to make that one the sleeve one, but I have now changed my mind and I'm going to make it kind of a button-up sleeveless style bodice, so I can avoid as much fabric around that area as possible for that fabric in particular. Now, I thought about keeping the strapless bodice design in the rotation somewhere, but I just decided that I wasn't really liking it. I was a little self-conscious in the style and I was just didn't really care to have it. So I decided to move that V-neck sleeve style to the lace dress, and then I'll still have the tank top style for the green dress and then a different version of a tank top sleeveless style for the blue dress. It's really not unusual for me to change my mind, so this was inevitable. So while I was at my sister's, I did get all the pieces cut out for the bodice of the blue dress and the bodice of the green leafy dress with the aid of lovely cats that I adore, but sewing with them is impossible. Alright, so today I'm going to go ahead and get started on cutting out the lace bodice pieces, and then I think I'm going to try to order those buttons that I'm going to need so that I can actually finish these dresses when I get to that point, and then we'll see how far I get. Since I need a lining for this dress, because it would be see-through otherwise, I'm deciding to actually sew the lining for the bodice and the lace together, as trying to do it as one fabric. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put in the darts and just do it all together rather than trying to make two layers, just because I think it will look nicer and be easier to do it that way. Okay, so I have the darts sewn in on the lace bodice, and now I'm kind of bored with that one, so I'm actually going to move on to working on the green bodice. And then I'll probably just flip back and forth between them or start in on the blue one or whatever I feel like, because I'm impulsive and I get sick of working on the same thing for too long. So I'm gonna go ahead and start on the green one, and I will catch up with you guys later. All right, so I got a little excited and basically did all of the green dress and forgot to film it. The only problem that I'm really having right now is this area. I think what I need to do with this is actually pull this up a bit more and tighten that. And I think I'm going to bring down the V just a little bit further. I also think I'm going to reduce the width here. Now this side is what it looks like with the raw edges cleaned up. This side obviously isn't there yet. So it is quite wide, and I think that I can actually take it down a little bit more. Though I don't mind this kind of like off the shoulder cap sleeve, not cap sleeve look. I'm still deciding on that. But once I get those things done, then it's really just cleaning up the raw seams and putting buttons in. So one dress is almost done.
But that's not what he's looking at. The shyness is a minor discomfort that vanished halfway through the first round of drinks. He listens more than he talks, but when
As per usual, I did all the modifications that I discussed earlier on the green dress, and something went wrong. It's just not fitting as well as it was. There's something wrong. The V-neck looks to be a little too low. It's puckering and it's just acting really funky. So I'm going to take a step back from this project. It's frustrating me, and I don't tend to do my best work when I'm frustrated. I end up just making it worse. So I'm going to take a step back, work on the blue dress, I think, because why not? And that might give me some insight as to what is going on with the green dress. Blue dress, here I come. Hi. So I'm working on the blue bodice. I've discovered that it's too short. I honestly have no idea how this happened or why. That's why I'm on the floor. But it's too short, and I think what I'm going to do, instead of recutting the whole bodice, I have enough fabric to do that, but I don't want to. So I think what I'm going to do instead is actually add like a waistband into the dress, which I've seen in some dresses and in some dress patterns, and I think it's just a good option, so I don't have to recut it, and I think it will look fine. So I'm going to try that, see how it goes. Okay.
curving in a mockery of a smile. And to Jude, who gave me a gift tonight, one that I plan to repay in kind. I try not to visibly flinch as glass.
The blue dress is almost done. I need to work on finishing the placket for the buttons, and then I need to tweak some of the darts because they got a little wonky when I sewed the bodice to the skirt portion. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's looking. I'm happy with this center piece. I think it looks quite nice. It does its job and it looks good. The fabric is a little wrinkled. It's linen, it's what it's gonna do, and it definitely looks worse on camera, I will say that. But I'm happy with how it's coming out overall. Now it's just minor details, so I'm gonna go ahead and get on those. So as you know, I got a little frustrated with the green dress after I put it all together and had it so close to being done, it just wasn't fitting right. So I moved on to the blue dress and I made that band in the middle to elongate it. And I've realized that I needed to do that for the green dress as well, which is really frustrating because, you know, you go through so much work with the mock-up to try to make sure that everything's perfect, and then something goes wrong. And I think part of what went wrong is the linen itself. The way it moves and it shifts caused my cutting not to be perfect, which caused some weirdness around the bottom of the bodice, and now it's not long enough. So I've already separated the green dress into the skirt and the bodice, which was a painstaking task because I did a French seam there and it sounded like a good idea at the time, and it is a good idea, but not when you have to take it out. So now I just have to cut out that band, insert it into the middle of the dress, and then it will just be working on a couple of the raw edges and buttons. Now that I'm almost done with the green dress, I'm going to move back to the lace dress because I want to. Okay. Okay. I finished the bodice for the lace dress for all intents and purposes, and I'm getting ready to put the bodice and the skirt together. And I test them. I test the bodice against the skirt, and they don't match up, which is very strange because when I test the bodice fits me perfectly, and when I test the skirt fits me perfectly. They're like 3 inches off each other, and I just can't wrap my mind around how that's possible. So I'm gonna play with it, see if I can maybe increase the darts just slightly, or like take in the darts. I don't know. I'll play with it and see if I can get them to match up. I have the bodice and the skirt put together, and I got the difference between them down to about 2 inches, which seems excessive, but I've realized that my mistake was in the skirt. It was the first skirt that I cut, and I didn't really think about the extra room that I'd need, the extra seam allowance that I'd need around the button placket area when I cut it. I thought about it with the other 2 dresses, but not with this one. So what I'm going to do is, for the skirt portion of the button placket, I'm going to have it turn in just slightly, and then I'm going to cover it with either some sort of ribbon or extra fabric to cover up the raw edges. And then on the bodice, it will double fold in to cover up the raw edges. Guys, sewing is hard. Now, don't judge me, but I'm in the mood to watch Twilight. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on and work on this while I have a good laugh. Okay.
You're trying to get yourself killed.
You don't understand. So here I chose to put in an extra bit of ribbon that I had to cover up the raw edges on the skirt. Alright, I have successfully binge watched Twilight, New Moon, and Eclipse. Got a good laugh in and finished a good portion of the dress. All the seams are felled down and sleeves are on. And I'm very happy with how this is looking. So now it's time to start buttons. Joy. Well, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to this train wreck of a video. Sewing is hard, and there are many projects like this one where I'm like, this is gonna be easy. This is just putting together some simple dresses, no problem. And then I get halfway through it and I'm like, it's hard and I want to quit. Why didn't I just buy these? But I am really happy with how they're turning out, and I'm really happy with the fact that I'm making these. I'm very proud of myself for this, but it's a process and there have definitely been a few meltdowns. But I don't think a sewing project is a real sewing project without at least one meltdown. And in all honesty, the blouse that I made with my Obsessed with Plaid series, it was awful making the mock-up for it, but when it came to the final blouse, it was pretty easy and very fast. And I was fairly sure that using that same pattern to make the bodice pieces for these dresses would go pretty smoothly. But I was wrong, which is, you know, not uncommon. I don't really know why I expect things to go as planned, because they never do. So in the next video, I will finish these dresses. All I have to do are buttons and buttonholes, which I'm doing all by hand because I want to. And then I can finally wear these dresses for like the last month of summer-ish. And to be blatantly honest, I'm kind of done with summer. I don't like it anymore. I'm so ready for autumn. So the fact that I'm putting in like all this work on these dresses and then I'm going to like wear them for a couple weeks and then be done with it, it's just kind of frustrating. But at the same time, they'll be ready to go for next summer and I will get to wear them a bit at the end of this one. So I think it'll be worth it. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching me make a whole bunch of mistakes. I probably will continue to do so. Go ahead and leave a comment below, like this video, or even subscribe. Stay sane, stay safe, and stay healthy, and I'll see y'all next time.